Hey everyone, so welcome to topic number 20. What is love and what is hate? This video is going to be very interesting. So, what I would first point out, like I've been saying about all my other videos, is that when you read something, make sure you pay attention to detail. So, when I look at the word love or the term love, okay, let's see how I'm gonna put this. For most people, they believe or they read the Bible, and a lot of people. I actually come from the Christian religion, and my church believes different. Another church believes different, but my church, I'm not gonna mention names or. I have had situations where I've actually been falsely baptized before, and it was just a mess. I'll actually do a story time about that. But when it comes to reading the Bible, my religion is Christianity, and every Christianity or every religion, every Christianity is different to different people. My church, when we read something or read a scripture, I hear a lot of people, which is true. A lot of people say people cherry pick, and this scripture they'll like a pastor will read a scripture to you, and then they're like, this means this, and it just makes no sense. You're like, well, you can't ask questions. I wanted to ask questions. You can't ask questions. In my church, you can ask questions. They just say this is it, this, and that's final. But I don't want to get off subject. But what is love? I'm not going to go into detail too much, but when we look at love, love is general. It's not defined. However, when people say that love is unconditional, that describes what love is. And love is actually God. When people say God is love or love is God, they're the same thing. Now, what God are they talking about? I've heard a person in spirituality. They have a YouTube channel. I was listening to their channel, and they said something that was very interesting. They said, how would you know, given the fact that they have read the Bible, read something in the Bible, and they said, how would you know who's good or who's bad? How would you just know? Well, for me, it was just, I just knew. It's a feeling, and I just know. But I'm going to tell you, for anyone that is a Satanist or anyone that is an atheist or anyone that's trying to figure out what God to serve, you don't have to serve God, number one. God can be your friend. It sounds crazy, but he can also be your lover. It's true. But what I want to touch bases here with is that when people say that love is unconditional, that is true. And that is one way you can define one God. Actually, there's two gods of the Bible. I'm going to jump back to the Christian religion. There's actually two gods of the Bible. The Bible is written in, like most of the world believe that the Bible has a lot of stories in it. They use the word stories or story. They're not they're not stories in the Bible. They're not stories. They're actually metaphors, and they're written in a story format, but they're actually metaphors. And you have to look beyond those metaphors. You have to look beyond those metaphors using your spirit mind. I talked about the term spirit mind in my video below this one. Check that one out. That video is called topic number 19, toxic masculinity. But anyways, there's two gods in the Bible, and one of them is you can define as unconditional love. That one is the good God. The one that says in the Bible, love everyone, love your neighbor, such and such. That's true. Then there's the other one where it says hate your neighbor. That one is, as people would say, the devil or Satan or whatever may have you. That's another God. one of the guys that's most mostly talked about. There's a good guy and there's a bad guy, but he's the one that's mostly talked about. And actually, people don't know or don't understand that hate is actually love. However, I'll explain what I mean. Um, Most people can define love as being unconditional because we all understand exactly that, there is a God or something like that. We all understand a little detail about ourselves, which is why a lot of us say unconditional love exists. And what we're really saying is that God exists. That's what we're saying. And a lot of us say, oh, I don't believe God, whatever like that. But there's multiple ways of viewing God. You can view God as a belief. You can view God in any way. There's infinite ways to view God. There's infinite terms that you can call him. The correct term is actually God. But I'm gonna talk about hate for a second. Hate is also general. But what people don't understand is that hate is also love. You can't substitute the word hate for love, but love is in front of hate. So really, hate is actually called hateful love. So what I'm trying to say is that the devil also can love too. Everything that's good and everything that's bad comes from one thing, which is pure love or pure goodness. However, the love that the devil has is self-love. And perfect example, the movie, if you've ever seen it, I recommend it to anyone. It's a good movie. Beyonce, if you know her, widely known around the world, Beyonce the singer, she plays in that movie, and she plays a character that is, this character that, has a really good relationship with her husband, and she loves her husband, but there's this one lady that is just obsessed with Beyonce's husband. And she goes to the sorry for blowing my breath in the phone, but because I'm using my phone. But anyways, she has a she has a just obsessive crush over Beyonce's husband, and she'll do anything to get him. And one of the scenes that really captivated me in the movie was when Beyonce, the lady was there's a scene where there was like, I can't remember, I haven't seen it in so many years. It was a glass table, I believe, and Beyonce was hanging from the ceiling or something. The ceiling had broke, and maybe you all know what I'm talking about. You can describe the scene better because it has been a while since I've seen the movie. And the lady was hanging from the chandelier. And Beyonce, being her character was like this good Christian person, just a good person at heart. And she was like, even though the lady was trying to kill Beyonce, Beyonce was still trying to help her. And as Beyonce was helping her, the lady, first of all, the lady gained Beyonce's trust. And every time the lady would gain Beyonce's trust, the lady would try to kill Beyonce to get to, like I said, she did everything to get to him. And Beyonce said, you know what, enough about this, enough of this. Beyonce said, I'm gonna try to save myself because this lady didn't try to kill me I don't know how many times, and I tried to save her, and then she just trying to kill me, and so the lady ends up killing herself because she ends up falling. And what I'm trying to say from that is that that lady was what you would call an evil character. That was a perfect example of what evil is, or hate is. She hated Beyonce. She I guess you can. Well, yeah. She hated Beyonce. She did not like Beyonce. She did not like the character that. She did not like her character. She did not like her at all. And so the love that she had for the kind of love that the lady has is a selfish kind of love. And what I'm trying to say is that hate is you can call it hateful love. There's unconditional love, which is the good God, the head God, and then there's the hateful love, which is the devil. Hateful love is love. It's less powerful love, but it's still power, and it's the love of yourself. The lady loved herself, but she was willing to kill herself. And hateful love is not rational. Love is unconditional love is rationalization. When for example, I don't want to get off topic from what I was talking about, but when it comes to suicide, when people decide to commit suicide, you have one option. One option is commit suicide. The other option is not commit suicide. Now, if you think about unconditional love is rationalization. You will rationalize with yourself. If you love yourself, you will rationalize with yourself and say, maybe this is not the good decision to do this. Now, people that end up committing suicide, I'm not saying that they hate themselves. I'm saying that they thought about it. That's all I'm trying to point out. A lot of people that commit suicide, they think about these things. Just because they go ahead and do it doesn't mean they hate themselves. They just hateful love is making an impulsive decision. People that do commit suicide do make impulsive decisions, but it's still there's still thought put into it. People that kill themselves to go ahead and do it, they put thought into it. A person that hates themselves don't put any thought into it. They just do it. Okay, it's just no thought. They just can take a gun and just put it in their mouth and shoot it. It's just over. And hateful love is just all about yourself. I hear going back to the scene with Beyonce, she loved herself, but she didn't think enough about herself or love herself enough or even love herself enough, and wasn't thinking, hello, like, if I die, I won't ever be able to be with this guy physically, and she wasn't thinking rational. All she was thinking about was getting what she wanted. And all hateful love is getting what you want at any cost, whether it be hurting yourself physically or even spiritually. So that lady really wanted Beyonce's husband, and she did everything she could, including trying to kill Beyonce to get to him, and she ended up killing herself in the end. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say about the difference between love and hate. And when it comes to politics, when we talk about politics and people say hate speech, there's no such thing as hate speech when it comes to human beings. Nobody is talking about hate speech. Nobody is spewing out. I never heard anyone or seen anyone do anything that's hateful. Given my definition, what I would call that speech in politics, or the term they use, hate speech, is not hate speech. It's just misunderstanding. Again, if there's thought put into something, love is I'm not gonna go into that, but excuse me, if you put thought into something, that's love. Hateful love is not putting much thought, or if thought at all, to do something. Excuse me, sorry. So I'm trying to explain the difference between unconditional love and hateful love. I never experienced any human being that has shown hateful love. Hateful love is almost uncontrollable. If a human being was hateful, so to speak, or hateful, they would be almost uncontrollable. Almost like if you've seen certain movies, like I think I've seen one of them. If you can leave down in the comments leave down in the comments if you ever seen like the movie called The Exorcism and stuff like that. Hollywood does a good example of what I'm talking about when it comes to hateful love. How the demon, if you will, is very hateful and is almost uncontrollable, and the pastor's like trying to say stuff and the demon won't leave the person's body, possession or whatever. That's what a human being would be like if they were truly hateful. They would be cussing you out all the time, spitting on you, always committing murder, constantly. It's just a constant thing. It's never going to stop. I've heard about and seen so many documentaries on serial killers, and never had seen a case or heard of a case where a human being was so-called allegedly hateful. Bad, killing someone, that's bad, but is it evil? Torturing someone, cutting somebody's head off, or it sounds, like it could be evil, but is it truly evil? No, because a serial killer could, cut somebody's head off, not have any remorse. I've seen cases like that before. And say we have example of, I heard of the case where this young lady, young black lady, tortured her daughter, left her in the freezer. I think it was, well, I don't know. I think she left her in the freezer for something like that and torture. I can't remember. I have to look up that case, but I think she left her in the freezer for a couple of days and just torture her basically. And the court is looking at her as if her actions are evil. Hateful, slash evil. And I'm like, no, her actions aren't evil or hateful, because if she was truly evil or hateful, she wouldn't be cooperating in the courtroom. She wouldn't be sitting there listening to all the testimonies from the families, the victims' families, and she wouldn't be sitting there so cordial and so calmly, or she wouldn't be doing any of that. She'd be spitting at people, kicking the tables, just acting uncontrollably, so to speak. She wasn't doing any of that. I mean, the smirking probably was going on. Sometimes I've seen people that have killed people have smirks on their faces, and the family's like, how could you be smiling? You just killed my daughter. That to people may seem like it's evil, but that's not evil. That's just bad. This is misunderstanding. So I'm trying to see if I come up with another example. But hopefully anyone that's listening, choosing to listen to what I'm saying, understand what I'm trying to say. And I want to leave you with a reminder. Anything that you think, or anything that you say, or anything that you do in life, allow those things to come from a place of love. Allow those things to come from your heart. And anything that you manifest, in other words, anything that you decide to do in life, decide to think about, decide to say to someone, or even yourself, let that come from your heart. And what I mean from your heart, not your physical heart, but truly think about in detail why you're doing something. Why am I thinking this? I don't need to know why. The thing about this world, we always want to know why all the time. And I don't agree with our system of the world when it comes to the judicial, when it comes to the court system, how we deal with, how prosecutors deal with cases. We always want to know why. Why did he do this? Why did he burn the body? All we need to know as human beings is what? Over in the spirit world, they're not going to judge you. I talked about the term spirit world, I think, in other videos. You can check it out. I can't remember exactly which one I talked about. The spirit world, actually, well, I ain't going into detail. But anyways, in the spirit world, or when you so-called allegedly die, no one truly dies. But over in the spirit world, the spirit world is a parallel world to the human world, which is our world. And when you die, so to speak, you just go, basically transition over to the other world. But in the spirit world, there's no judgment, and they're not gonna want to know. Most importantly, they're not gonna want to know why you did something. More importantly, they're gonna want to help you, and people in the spirit world need to understand what you did so they can help you. They don't need to know why. You don't need to know why a person used that knife, why they chose that particular victim, why they cut their throat, or whatever they did. You don't need to know why all the time. Excuse me. There's no need to know why. So that's all I want to say about that. I don't want to make this video too long. Trying to see if there's anything else I need to cover for this one. I think that's it. So I guess I'll see you guys later, and yeah. So thank you all for tuning in to Storytime with T, and leave a comment down below if you like this video. Leave a like, and yeah, see you guys later. Love you all.